This is the Leo Clamaco Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Leo Clamaco Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest for you guys. She is a Oya, remind me?
Oya health partner.
Oya health partner. We're going to get deep into what Oya is. Mm-hmm. Her name is Jeanne LaRoche. Hi,
yes,
Jeanne.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. A pleasure to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
We've been trying to get this together for a while, but we finally got it happening.
Beautiful. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into a little bit about who you are, your background, where you come from, and then we'll go into how you got into all this.
Yeah. So my name is Jeanne LaRoche, and I'm a steward of wellness technologies and a steward of human rejuvenation and health optimization. It's been a passion of mine for most of my life, but it wasn't until my early 20s that I really woke up to the necessity of really reframing the paradigm of health on this planet. I really woke up to the quality of our water and the effect that it has on our organism, as well as our food, as well as our emotional state. So it was, a huge awakening for me. And I also witnessed in my life loved ones, come into disease and imbalance that now I understand could have been prevented with the technologies that we're actually working with today. And with these new understandings of health, understanding that it's so multidimensional and so personal and bio-individual, we don't exist in a vacuum, and we're such unique beings based on, the life that we've lived, our life experiences, our ancestry, and health is so intimate and it's sacred. So I, through a number of experiences, I was really drawn to being a part of, revitalizing our understanding of our well-being.
Just by that intro, I can tell that you're really intelligent.
Thank you.
That was really well said.
Thank you. I'm a researcher as well. I am my own biggest experiment. I've self-invested quite a bit in health
awesome.
And wellness and different modalities. And I've traveled the world studying different healing arts and also just tuning into ancient wisdom. I've always been really into marrying and unifying science, modern science and ancient sciences. I've studied the science of, yoga, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and really the science of nature, which has informed me so much about my own, my own health, my own existence, my own matrix.
Right. All right, let's go back in time. Who was Jeanne in high school? I want to connect the dots of who you were to who you are today.
Okay. So Jeanne in high school, she was an athlete.
Okay. What'd you play?
I played soccer.
You played soccer.
I was a striker. So
very cool.
I was quite athletic growing up. So the physical health and wellness was like ingrained within me from a pretty young age.
So you're definitely popular, I can tell.
I was really shy. I mean, people knew me, but I didn't have the popular personality.
Got you.
Where'd
you go to high school?
I went to North Miami Beach.
Oh, okay.
Senior high. Yeah.
So you were born in Miami?
I was born in Miami.
Very cool.
Raised in Miami. And that's actually where I started to really get into human anatomy. I had an incredible anatomy class teacher. We, dissected a cat, and that's kind of when I started to.
Usually they do frogs, right?
I didn't touch the cat for 2 weeks. I'm a cat lover, so I was just like, oh God, no, I'm not doing this.
A little terrifying, yeah.
But it actually was incredible. It was incredible, and that's also where I started to tune into the environmental studies.
Okay.
But yeah, I was really just wanting to experience everything.
Wanting to learn and explore.
Wanting to learn, to explore, explore my own psyche, my own consciousness, explore, socially as well.
Right.
So yeah, it wasn't, and I also, was introduced to yoga at a pretty young age. So that kind of, tuned my instrument to, a different channel
Right.
of
Whole
that
new
there's
frequency.
whole new frequency, which is actually what we'll be talking about a lot today.
So let's get into it. Go for it.
Great, yeah. So
How did you get into Oya? What is Oya? How did you get into it, and what do you do for them?
okay, so Oya Health is a comprehensive wellness support system, ultimately.
A comprehensive health support system. Okay.
Yes. So it's multidimensional, and it's really a complete solution to well-being and longevity. So why Oya and I are so aligned is because
So it's not like Botox, right?
it is not.
I'm just making
No.
fun.
So really the principle, and this is why, Oya and I collaborate and work together, and why I just love their method. Because the principle is that the body is so incredibly intelligent and can heal itself naturally given the right energy, the right environment, the
sure.
right frequencies, right? And so basically, the Oya Health method combines cutting edge techniques, advanced wellness technologies with ancient wisdom. So unifying all of those sciences,
Bringing it all together in one place. Yeah.
There's the health and wellness industry is like super, wow, it can be very overwhelming.
Very.
And
So many tentacles.
So many tentacles and a lot of misinformation as well.
A lot of scammers.
A lot of scammers, a lot of just like profit driven, which whatever, we live in a capitalistic society. That's how it goes.
For sure.
Social responsibility is incredibly important, and really empowering humans is kind of where we're at in our conscious evolution. So that's basically what Oya does is we're ultimately creating new paradigms of health, so that, we can as individuals be in more control of, the root determinants of health, of what's going on with us. And so that we can take preventative measures, which is why I love the biometric health decoder, which is what we'll be featuring today.
The biometric health decoder.
Yes.
You are using all these amazing terms.
Yeah, well, words are also carry a frequency.
For sure.
So
It's why it's called spelling.
Exactly.
Because we're casting spells.
I love that so much. And when you wake up to like the reality of how much influence we have, just through our own vessel,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to not take responsibility, right? And that's kind of where we're at, taking ownership of our health, taking responsibility for our health, our actions as well, and our reality, because we are creating our reality with our mentality. So, preventative care was something that I was so passionate about because I witnessed my own mother pass away from cancer very quickly.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
How long ago?
It's been like, I think 14 years now.
Okay.
14 years, yeah. So
you were young.
I was young, yeah. And I was just, this is when I was just coming into like alternative healing methods, and also waking up to kind of like the darker side of the healthcare system.
Right.
So it was really challenging to just like witness, but I was, meant to observe that whole process because it's fueled the passion and the fire within me.
For sure.
To, do what I'm doing now. So, at that point I was like, preventative care is everything.
It really is.
It's everything.
And it sucks that we have a system that doesn't cater to that.
Right.
We have a system that it's basically reactive, not proactive.
Correct. Exactly.
It's like rush to the ER instead of what can I do to never go to the ER.
Right. Right.
Right.
And we kind of have an understanding as to why that system is the way it is.
It's a moneymaker.
Right. So it's 97% intervention and like 3% prevention.
Right.
We really don't ever need to get to the point where we're in chronic pain. And, it's almost like we've kind of had to go through this to really wake up to the reality that it's important that we're paving new paths.
Right. And it explains why so many people hate doctors and going to the doctor. They wait to the last freaking minute to go when they're
Right.
almost dying.
Right. Right. Well, it's become, you see the doctors with you for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't feel empowered. You still feel confused. You don't know what the root cause is.
Yeah.
And it's really because the process is it's outdated, honestly.
It really is.
And it's
It's backwards.
It's backwards, it's inverted, and it's honestly on its way out. And I'm not saying that like the entire biomedical system sucks. No, there is a time and a place.
Right.
But yeah, it's beyond time that we're integrating, a lot more self-awareness and integrating these old understandings or forgotten understandings
Right.
of health that that have been here for so long. There are roots, and of course we're evolutionary beings, so it's important that we're integrating them with these new wellness technologies that are available for us. And a lot of them, they're new to us, but they've been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
So the biometric health decoder, which is a health scanner, the software was developed about 30 years ago.
Wow.
By the Institute of Psychophysics for astronauts, actually.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, there's a portable way to scan the human system and to get feedback on what is going on within the body, and what remedies are needed and what frequency corrections are needed as well. So we can get into the fact that we are energy. Everything in the universe is energy. We cannot deny this anymore.
For real. So many do.
I know. And that's okay. It is like whoosh, based on what we've been programmed and conditioned to believe.
For
to
sure.
Be very attached to just the physical body, which is just a
The
minute.
material world.
Right. Exactly.
It's so hard for people to break free and understand that you are not your body, you are not your mind, you're the observer.
Right. Exactly. And you're not your emotions either.
You're not.
They're just energy moving through you. So this information is incredibly empowering. It has, just lifted so much density off of me personally.
I can imagine.
And given me more agency too, right?
Right.
Because now we're not always looking in the external, which is kind of what we've been taught to do, which is very disempowering. We're bringing the awareness back within us because we are powerful creator beings here creating. I mean, everything that is in this room began as a thought, as an energy form.
It sure did.
So energy or matter is energy condensed. And, we're all ultimately extensions of cosmic creation. We are, we have these incredible electromagnetic fields or auras. It's also called the biofield phenomenon, which basically biological organisms and objects, including the ground, has a vortex magnetic field, which basically emits different characteristics of frequencies that are the pattern of who we are, and how we're being projected and expressed.
I think the best way that I was able to comprehend and understand this was through the double slit experiment and how particles become
Right.
waves and how those waves interfere with each other, giving us a frequency pattern. And it just shows me that everything is in a state of possibility until it collapses into the reality that it's supposed to collapse into, right? So that shows me that we have somewhat of a control, but really that wave is going to collapse where it's supposed to collapse regardless of your observation or not. So let it go.
Right. I love that. Exactly. Right. So the art of surrender too.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean like you're not doing anything. Like you take action when necessary.
For sure. Control what you can.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And let God do his part.
Beautifully said. Exactly. And trust in that.
Yes,
Like, that's
have
a
faith.
huge thing is
Yes.
trusting in the God field. Trusting, that we are guided, that we are protected. The second that we, fall into that doubt, into that hopelessness, whoop, there goes our frequency.
Yeah. Drops.
And that's where, we become hospitable for bacteria. We become just like literally our field, which is kind of like the skin of our energy, or it's like our energy skin pretty much. Like it's the barrier, the bubble,
Right.
becomes permeable. And, everything starts in the energetic field. Every dis-ease, every imbalance starts
sure.
there. Then so if we don't have a strong electromagnetic field or poor energy hygiene habits, which is something I'm really passionate about, because I had to learn the hard way. But then it comes into your psychology, affects your psychology, and then the
For sure.
psychology affects the physical body.
It's kind of like the earth, right? The earth has its own magnetic field that if there's a hole in it, a sunburst might come and wipe us out.
Right. Yes, exactly. So we want to keep the field, the force of the field strong.
Right.
And there's many ways
And for
to do
that, you got to
so.
stay high vibrational.
Right. And that takes, good habits. That takes a lot of self-love. And,
A lot of people are just stuck in bad habits.
yeah, well, they're patterns that are just looped. And so,
These frames they've built for themselves.
Right.
That they
And
can't get out.
it's mostly like protection, right? We've
fear,
formed
doubt.
these protective personalities that ultimately is where we're operating from, which are what you named. We're operating from fear, we're operating from doubt, hopelessness, all of this, which is literally creating our reality.
Yeah.
And that's why we get stuck in loops. That's why we date the same people over and over again. That's
Yep.
why we feel crazy sometimes. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this situation again.
And that lowers our frequency right down to the bottom.
Yeah, and low frequency is at the root of ill health. So when our frequency, let's say there's deferred grief, for in my case, there was a lot of deferred grief from my mom's passing. And so what the body does is when there isn't that space and time to process those emotions, the energy,
Gets trapped, right?
it gets trapped, and we start to create this protective field around it, or this whatever you said, the framework, or this protective structure, and that takes a lot of energy, and it's very
to maintain.
depleting.
Yeah, put the
and
cup
then
down.
we just look away, we're blindsided, and then it literally becomes an entity, right? And I've been thinking a lot about what identity means and the etymology around that.
Right.
But
and this goes back to faith.
Yeah.
The fear, the doubt, a lot of it is lack of faith, lack of belief that there's something else out there that can guide you and help you in your way.
Right. And then it makes us feel really alone.
Yeah.
And we're number one, we need to be connected to source, to God, first and foremost.
Always.
Because that's just the reality. We are a part of this, just infinite fabric of life force energy.
Yes.
And that's just how it is.
All of our energies comes from that same source of energy.
Right, exactly. And that's a huge thing, is our life force energy, the vital force. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's understood that when there is a block in the energetic channels or the meridians, the energy pathways, highways, that's when we start to see disease. That's when we start to see imbalance.
That makes total sense.
If there's noise or blockages that are obstructing the highway, creating traffic jams or, not moving the energy through properly, that would be, stagnation or moving things too fast, we fall out of harmony. And there's, a lot of external stressors as well as internal stressors.
Oh, for sure.
That if we're aware of them, and if we have the tools and practices and methods and protocols to, revitalize them, harmonize them, bring them back into balance, we start to train our body in how to self-regulate itself.
Right.
So, I don't
all about
think
building good habits, right?
exactly.
In the end, it just comes down to building
resilience
right.
too. It's all part of it, so that we're flowing through life more effortlessly than consistently like, oh, I have to suffer, I have to be in pain, I'm consistently running into these roadblocks. Like,
Right.
life does not need to be like that. Whoever said it needed to be like that lied.
What do you think about people who'd say, oh, just go take a pill, I'll make you feel better?
Yeah. So that is basically a Band-Aid.
100%.
So that is basically saying, yeah, I give up on my body's intelligence.
Right.
And
Or don't believe in it.
Right. Right. Which is so disempowering.
It really is. It's so sad.
You're never actually processing. You are just continuing to shove and suppress everything down instead
Right.
of allowing
Without dealing with it.
Right. And that's when we see cancer. That's when we see, mood imbalances.
Yes. Anxiety.
Mental disease. Exactly. All of that. And, even in a lot of new age, like dogma and like spiritual teachings, there is some misinformation around that, like there's the only love and light, which is not like a reality. We do have to face our shadows. We do have to process
sure.
our darkness. And the more that we raise our vibration, the more light, the more pure potential we have, the more light we're able to receive and emit. And through that also, more of like the crevices, the closets, like
starts
the
coming
darkness
out.
starts to be illuminated.
Yes.
And we need
Because
support.
darkness can't hide in the light.
Right, exactly. And we need support in navigating, through these, through freeing ourselves of the density of like all the suppressed emotions, and which are ultimately a result of how we've been conditioned to be acceptable, and
Right.
behave. So
Little robots.
Yeah. Which we are.
Be good little boys and girls.
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh, that like killed me. Seriously.
Yeah, same.
I had to do a lot of reprogramming from coming out of like the people pleaser, nice girl, all
Yeah.
of that. And we don't live in a vacuum. We're multidimensional beings. We have very many facets.
Yes.
And we've been very fragmented because of what we just said. And it's time to unify. It's time to bring, the consciousness with the subconsciousness back together into communication. So they're working together. So we're not working against ourselves. And in that way, through the shifts within us internally, we see the shifts in our lives externally. Like that's really the only way. It's time to gaze within, really.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect segue. Why do you think it's taken 30 years for this software to become, I'm not going to say mainstream, but to the public, out in the open?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just don't think that, we were really ready for it as our collective consciousness wasn't really ready for it. And it's interesting because throughout time, we have seen advanced technologies come about when we're in the point of our conscious evolution, like when we're ready for it.
Right.
And that's, it's with the stream of life. It's, now is the time, which is now why we have access to one of the most advanced homeostasis control programs, which is the biometric health decoder. So that, and also just like a suppression of larger, control
Substance.
corporations as well.
Yeah. The two together.
Yeah, exactly. And this technology is based off of the works of Nikola Tesla, Royal Rife,
What a genius he was.
Right, exactly. Lakovsky and all of those, this was before solid state in the late 1800s, beginning of 1900s.
Love how knowledgeable you are.
Thank you. Yeah, I do my research. I like to go down the rabbit hole.
Same.
It's important to me. I love exploring like the architecture of nature, like what is going on.
Me too.
And so yeah, that was like the free energy movement, and all of that was like buried and suppressed.
Literally.
Yeah.
And
but it truth can only be suppressed for so long. Now 100 and whatever years later, like here we are with the amazing scientists and the people who have carried forth the legacy, the understanding of energy and energy generation.
Yeah. I think the Chinese have known about qi for 5,000 years more. The Indians also.
Yep, exactly.
It's insane how far back this whole thing goes.
Yeah, exactly. The prana, the chi, like it's like we're now translating it for like our modern existence here and now. And with technologies like the decoder, I mean, we're able to look into our health matrix inside of ourselves like we really never have been before.
It's amazing.
Yeah, which is like proving, okay, yes, the chi is real. Yes, the prana is real.
Right.
Yes, all of these ancient understandings are incredibly valid.
Break down for us a little bit all the different tools that Oya offers.
So Oya offers, one of their main offerings are these beautiful luxe retreat spaces in the Dominican Republic and the Catskills in New York, Virginia, and soon Greece. So these are these beautiful places and healing spaces designed for humans to reset and to, get out of their element and disconnect from their, their day to day to be able to refresh the mind, the body, the spirit, and to transform and to, rebirth into the next version in a profound way. And also just to be able to alchemize, a lot of the old stuff that we've been carrying for so long.
What a great word.
And so they're kind of like these, alchemical centers, I like to see them as.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And also, the Oya method. And so they have, they're rich in technologies at the centers where they combine these cutting edge technologies with the ancient healing modalities as well. So shamanism, for example. So people can really have these experiences that transform them within, and they can carry that healing and new health and transformation outwardly into the world. And so
that's really cool, combining the ancient and the modern.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it provides us with so much more richness, and for me, an easier way to understand like our makeup and our landscape ultimately. And of course, the decoder, which is a health scanner. And
is that part of the technology piece?
Yes. So this is a big one. So basically, the scanner is able to measure the frequency characteristics of our DNA, of our cells, of our tissues, organelles, organ systems, emotional matrix, our conflict matrix.
It's incredible.
It is incredible.
How does it do that?
So basically, the easy way to think about it is it's similar to echolocation.
Okay.
So, bats, whales, dolphins, they use this sonar system, submarines as well.
Yep.
And so we can use bats for an example. So bats emit a high frequency sound, vibration, to ultimately find their prey and to navigate in the darkness. So they're emitting a sound frequency, and the information through frequency is being reflected back.
Right.
So that's one way that we can think about it. There's a sensor that sends subtle waves to ultimately measure the frequency activity in our body. And within the database of the software, we have all this biodata or bioinformation of healthy tissues, imbalanced tissues, like the frequency of diabetes, the frequency of arthritis. So in addition to the biodata of the remedies are also stored within the system, so it's able to match us with the best, most appropriate remedy corrections. The nutraceuticals, the vitamins, the minerals. Yes, and as well as, this is like totally mind-blowing to me, and I love talking about it, but there's also a reprinter. So basically, we are able to print the biodata or the frequencies of the remedies that were matched to the wellness client, and we can create like the most personalized, customized tincture with the frequency corrections.
That's incredible.
Right here. And basically what happens, it's creating a vortex magnetic field of, let's say it's the plant remedy, the herb, or the nutraceutical, or even just the correction to the imbalance if it is like rheumatoid arthritis, for example. So to me, that's just like, wow, next level. It's mind-blowing. And, I've practiced, I'm a practitioner of alternative healing arts, and I'm a vitalist herbalist as well. And I used to create, I used to have to find the medicinal plants and, spend a month soaking them in the alcohol menstruum to create a remedy. Whereas now, which that's still a beautiful art, but now I can just print it here because all of the biodata, the frequency, is stored in the software, and we can recreate that here.
All right, I have a few questions for you. How are you emitting the sonar through the body?
How are we?
Right, yes.
So like our frequency, basically.
What I mean is like what tool is being used to tell the software what's wrong with the body through this sonar technology?
So basically it's like a spectral analysis. So it's amplifying our frequency waves, and especially the ones that it detects are imbalanced. So
but it's through headphones, right?
Right. So it's through headphones, and there are subtle signals, the non-invasive, that are being sent to the body to bounce back the information.
Got it.
Because ultimately we're sound. It's really weird to think about, but we are sound vibration. Like that's pre-light, and we are light, which is information. We're just condensed into like matter. And in the center of the nucleus of our cells, we emit this biophotonic light, which is emitting the frequency vibrations and ultimately creating our electromagnetic field as well. So
okay, hold on. Let me stop you because I gotta dumb this down a little bit.
Okay.
So we're putting on headphones.
Yes.
And a frequency is being transmitted through the headphones that is talking to each of our cells. And
yes.
It's getting it's capturing data back from the body to analyze and see exactly what's going on.
Right.
That's incredible.
Yes. Isn't it? It really is. The first time that I sat down and got scanned, I was like, wow, I've been waiting for this. Truly, because
it really is. It's incredible.
Because you can, and it's basically like energetic testing. So now we're approaching health and wellness from like our metaphysical reality,
right?
Which is really at the root of everything.
That's incredible.
Which, it can be hard to grasp to begin with, but
for sure.
But you've you walked into a room where people were fighting and you could feel it, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You can cut that tension with a knife.
Right. So it's real, right? And then, that energy manifests
Same for the opposite, right? Happy. People are joyful.
Exactly.
You can feel that also.
Right. So now we have the capacity to ultimately like reprogram the information within our cells, the software within our cells, because they can become corrupt or like, have a virus.
Right.
Let's say you are exposed to like high levels of electromagnetic field pollution, like you're constantly being saturated with it. So
Which we all are.
we all are.
From air to the food that we eat to
Right.
everything.
But the thing is, though, like, I don't want that to scare everyone, like, because we can build the body's resilience through the energy field.
People underestimate the human body so much.
Right. Well, we've kind of, because of the way that we've gone about treating our symptoms, because symptoms are not the bad guy. Like, we don't want to just kill the symptom. Well, that's all that the medicine is for. It's like, okay, just get rid of the symptom. But the symptom is the body's language.
It's
the body's talking to us. It's the intelligence. We have to follow the symptom.
And all we're doing is telling it to shut up.
Putting duct tape over it.
Yes.
And then just like, just shutting off that avenue of communication that is so integral to our longevity. Like if we shut that off, then our body is going to continue to chronically degenerate, which is not what we want. And we're like, oh, it's okay. I just don't want to feel anything.
Right.
Well,
numb yourself.
That is kind of a
That's not living.
Sentence. Yeah.
It's not living.
Right. Exactly. So we want to live our full potential. We want to experience the juiciness of life and
Amen.
All of the versions of these magnificent beings that we are. And we're constantly molting. We're constantly shedding skins. And it's a matter of really like mastering that reality, like all the deaths. With every death, there's a rebirth, you know? And it's like, where are we operating from? Are we operating from fear, or are we operating from love? Are we operating from hopelessness? Are we operating from faith? And it's important that we tune in to ourselves and our metacognition. What are we generating constantly? Like, what is our consciousness generating? Because we are frequency
to be aware
generators.
of that. Yes, we are.
So we're creating. And we're also can be miscreating. Now, what's important, because energy is just energy. What's important is the information behind the energy. Is it a prayer? Is it a curse? You know what I mean? So, and with the scanner, we're now able to just like get a way more intimate understanding of the interplay.
Get the full report.
Yeah, and an interplay of like the emotions and the organ systems and what vitamins we're depleted of, where we need more support. How are we actually doing? Because we've gotten really good at escaping, numbing, and being
ignoring,
totally unaware of what's actually going on. Because we're just like masters at that. But it's time to be the real masters of our minds and of our lives and of this like incredible system that we get to be in. This is an energetic vessel of pure potential, infinite possibility. And it's really time to take those limitations, off, that we're just like.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Please explain how a software is able to extract the frequency of plants and print it into a little bottle.
Okay.
Because that just sounds like magic.
I know, right? But it's like, it's real.
You're taking, I believe you. You're taking zeros and ones.
So basically.
And turning it into frequency.
They're recording, it's recorded. So the frequency of the said plant or nutraceutical is recorded into the software.
I think that's so incredible how someone figured out how to put a frequency code into zeros and ones.
And
so incredible.
Then, right? I know, it's like a translator, basically.
Yeah.
which is so cool.
So cool.
Like that we can measure, and we've been able to do this for a while. Like I remember when I was in college, I took an ethnobotany class, which is the study between plants and humans.
Yep.
And I was like really curious about Ayurveda and the relationship between plants and people in India. And I came across this study of this man that was basically, and it was like early 1800s, had this device where he was able to measure the frequency characteristics of plants and their like responses to harmonious music as opposed to disharmonious music, and like positive thinking as opposed to negative thinking.
That's incredible.
So yeah, it's kind of like, it's magic to us now because we haven't really been exposed to it, but it's kind of elementary to a certain degree because like that's energy and that is elementary to our existence ultimately.
I think the issue is most people think that plants are just dead.
Right.
You know, and they're not really alive.
Right.
You know?
Well,
Plants
everything is alive, including your chair to a certain degree. Like the chair isn't sentient.
Right.
Plants actually are sentient.
They are.
And water is too, in fact. Through Dr. Emoto's experiments, he demonstrated very clearly that water is programmable and responds to energy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wild. And so cool.
Very. Let's do some demonstration.
Sounds good. Yes.
Let's show everyone exactly what we're talking about and how this whole process works and how this software works.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Go for it. We're ready to do a scan and an example here of exactly what we're talking about. Give us a bit description of what this cute little box is.
Yeah. So this is kind of what enables the magic to happen. So this box is kind of like the hardware that has the software in which all of the bioinformation is recorded.
Got it.
And it also enables the subtle signal that is measuring the frequency characteristics of Leo to be generated. So,
okay. So I'm going to put on these headphones.
Yes.
And you're going to send sonar through my body.
Pretty much.
Let's do
Very
it.
subtle, non-invasive.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and you're not going to hear anything or feel anything, although some very sensitive people do claim to hear.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
we've
ready.
entered his information, which, entering the name, the birth date, all of that is important because, again, that carries an energetic signature.
Right.
So we're going to just run an express scan on Leo. So we have the ability to do an express scan, a normal scan, as well as a detailed scan. And the detailed scan enables us to get, it delivers a full body health assessment within an hour, which is fabulous. And so as you can see, we're going through the scan and their color coordination, or there are shapes with colors. So the gradient is 1 to 6. 1, 2, and 3 are normal cells. The number 1, which is a white with color white represented on here, is like the God cell. And 2 and 3 is normal. When we get to 4, which are the upside down pinkish triangles, that's
Back right there.
I couldn't see that.
We don't want you, McAfee.
No.
Leave us alone.
McAfee likes to delete our software.
I bet. I think it's the virus.
Yeah, it does. I don't want to click for details. Do I have to? That's very annoying. I mean, it's still allowing us to work.
Just put it in the background for now. It won't let you.
That's okay. We can still work. We can still see it. The camera can't see the... All right. So...
No, you can't even drag it. Hold on. Let's see if we select it. So annoying.
I mean, if worse comes to worse, I have another computer.
Is that McAfee? No, I'm not gonna fuck with it. Got it.
Yay.
I used to be a computer guy.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
I used to. That used to be my
really ever been
my bread and butter a long time ago. I was an IT director for a long time.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Amazing! Happy that you're here to support. Okay, so before I select OK, the research is done.
So it literally went through my entire body. It did a scan. It showed a picture of my brain, my lungs, my heart, my nervous system, the whole thing.
Yes, so we're about to access the analysis, but I just wanted to go over these colors. So 1 to 3 is normal. 4 is, okay, there's an imbalance that is starting to happen.
There's a lot
and
of 4s
it's going to
there.
require energy to correct.
I see
5
a
is
lot
like,
of 4s.
there's definitely an imbalance, and 6 is for sure there's an imbalance.
Oh,
and
we
it's
got
gonna
some
take
6s there.
energy to correct. Now, I also want to say that because we're constantly like shifting and oscillating, right? This could be, a representation of you didn't sleep well the night before, or, something happened that was emotionally distressful, for example.
Got it.
So we have to just keep that in mind. And what's interesting with the scans is one day we can be on the trajectory for, let's say, cancer.
Right.
Because we've had we're like not in a good place mentally. And then we work through things, we process the next week, we're not on that trajectory anymore. So what's amazing about this is that we can see how energetically what we're cooking up
That's so
with our
cool.
energy,
Right.
so that we can take preventative measures and shift our behaviors, our thoughts, words, and actions, ultimately to get us back into the harmonious, like homeostasis middle path.
Wow.
So, and the express scan it's more of like a topical. Oops.
You were saying the full scan's about an hour?
Yes. So the detailed scan is about an hour.
We got to link
and
up and do that one day for me.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And the express scan, it took less than 10 minutes for you, but it depends on how compromised your system is. So it was pretty quick. All right. So we're going to take a look at the lungs here, because we're seeing some 4s.
Do my headphones have to stay
6.
on or no? Can I take them off?
Keep the headphones
Okay, keep it on. Got it.
Because we're going to keep researching.
Got it.
So this ultra structure here enables us to go even deeper. So this is a cross section of the front torso. And now we see this.
Is that my left side or right side?
Right.
The right side, okay.
So we're going to go deeper into, now we're in the bronchus of the cells.
Look at
or
that.
of the lungs. And now it's taking us even deeper here.
Wow.
So now we're in the lung tissue, which, could be like bacteria or something going on there.
I was sick 2 weeks ago for a whole week.
Okay. So that's probably remnants of that. And I also will say, too, while we're in the lungs, that the lungs hold grief.
Hold on. What happened?
You gotta keep your hand out of the camera. You're literally putting your hand right in front of the camera so you can't see the screen.
Got it. Sorry.
It's gotta stand real low. You're good.
So the lungs correspond to emotions, to grief as well. And the lungs are one of our most important filtration systems for our immune system, along with the spleen. So now what we'll be able to do is research this further. So we'll go into the analysis, and this is the etalon. And again, whatever is seen on here, remember, it's energetic testing. No need to get attached to the word of the imbalance, right? That's a really important thing. Okay, so here it's showing sarcoidosis, and we're able to actually
That screen is filled with big words.
Yes, it is. And usually I can access a description, but I don't know what this bar is for, but that's okay. Okay, so we have something going on with the lungs, and it's a level 1. So it's not like super advanced, but it is in the color red, which means that it does need attention.
Okay.
So because it's a 1, you know, it's not going to take as much energy and it's not as advanced.
Right.
So this is something that can be easily corrected. All right. So now we can come down here to the recommended phytotherapy, which are the plant remedies. So this is at a level 2. This is a great match for you. And now what I can actually do is start to send the frequency correction of a Cordis calamus, which calamus is a plant, directly to the lung tissue that we have pulled up here.
So you're literally sending the frequency of that plant through these headphones into my lungs.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Now, if we want to get a little more like out there from what I've been taught by one of the physicists who developed the software, actually the signals are kind of going into space, into your field ultimately. So we do, like, it's easier to think like, okay, it's coming in through here, but it's actually signaling into like out
into my aura,
into your field,
right?
Ultimately. Okay, so this is great. We see a lot of 4s that turned into 2s, and we're able to see the comparative analysis.
Wow.
So 78% improvement. So now we know that this plant is definitely a great ally for you. And now we can see here the improvements. This is also known as metatherapy as well, which is bioresonance feedback. Okay, and we can even go into lithotherapy. So basically stones. So garnet is what's recommended for you, which is a red stone. And now foods. So we have banana, veal liver, apricot, pumpkin.
And you have all these frequencies built in.
Correct. So I can, through the reprinter, I can infuse tincture remedies, which are alcohol-based, with all of your frequency remedies so that you can take throughout the month. And what we do is we track your health. So, you know, depending on the severity of your assessment,
Right.
you know, we'd give you the remedy preparations. We'd tune you into, okay, the emotional conflict that needs to be worked on, you know, some of the lifestyle practices that need to be altered, or, you know, the OYA protocols, if, like a parasite cleanse. A lot of the time we're just have an influx of bacteria and parasites that need to be cleaned out to revitalize the body.
Makes sense.
So basically, you know, this will also give us the exact strain of the bacteria and virus so that we can really target the specific bacteria or parasite, which is amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and like we did not have to take any blood. So Immortel here is the nutraceutical. All right. So what I'm seeing here is some mental fatigue. Yeah.
I feel it. I feel mental fatigued.
Yeah. So that is, you know, corresponding to the imbalance in the lungs. So very much so. It's a level 4. So definitely what's needed for you is the mind needs to be restored. Like overanalyzing, worry, which, you know, clearly affects our organs. Like that's what needs to be taken care of first and foremost, prioritized. And that's going to really assist the body in having the energy it needs to come back into balance. All right. And also we
This
have...
is awesome.
Right?
This is so cool.
It is, because it's actionable too.
Right.
You know? We're not just getting a read and we're like, oh, I have all this information. What do I do? I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do about this lung thing? What am I supposed to do about mental fatigue? Well, here are the plant allies, here are the nutraceuticals. And now we can get insight on the steps that we need to take to shift us back.
Let's do it. This is great.
And then the Bach remedies, which I love, and this is homeopathic medicine. So there's even allopathic remedies in here as well, which are like, certain pharmaceuticals. So beech is the flower essence that's recommended for you, which I've actually been taking that. And it's really good for irritability or like intolerance, So
which I'm full of.
Feel you. Especially when you're like, you have like you're really dedicated to, your full potential, to expanding your consciousness.
I hate bullshit. I fucking hate bullshit.
Right, exactly. It can be frustrating.
And I hate people who live in that frequency.
Right.
It affects me. Clearly, it affects me a lot.
Yes, exactly. And it's also draining you.
Yes, it's draining me.
So what the homeopathic remedies do, or what the Bach flowers do, they're flower frequencies that balance the intolerance, the irritability that continues to take the body, lower the body's frequency, and it keeps the body's frequency, at a certain level to the point where it's entrained and now it's used to it. So that's its baseline again.
Got it. That's amazing.
And I love that we're able to also tune into the chakra system here. So here are all the vitamins, just for, the lungs. We go deeper into the body. So D2 is something that you'll benefit from.
It's crazy how you know how to read all this.
Yeah. It took some practice and, of course, training. But it's fabulous because once you start working with technology like this, like your intuition really starts to kick in.
There's no
and you
going
start
back.
to see patterns.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, there's always a pattern. There's the patterns in, our behavior. There's patterns in health.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been the best way to learn and understand, is through understanding just the baseline patterns, like the patterns of our constitution, our inner weather. We're all different. Some people are more moist, some people are more dry, some people are more hot, some people are more cold. And that's why bio-individual health is crucial.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only effective way to,
That's so true what
to
you just
heal. We can't be treating everyone the same. So we see a little bit of of radiation and fluorides as toxins in the body. And what's amazing too is that it gives us the acupuncture points as well that will benefit the healing of your lungs. So I want to go down to look at.
Are you able to send this report out to individuals?
Yes. So basically, we put all of the data into what's called the epicris, which we can print and email. And then we create our own report. Like the practitioner, the specialist will create their own report for the wellness client, highlighting, everything. Everything that needs to be worked on, everything that was detected in regards to toxicity.
That's incredible.
It's an assessment, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is where I'm at right now. And these are the things that will help me come back into homeostasis.
This needs to be a part of every single physical, every single year for every person.
Yes, exactly. And, Michael, the physicist who we work with, he says that he has the system has saved so many people from heart attacks.
Wow.
Because you can see it. And especially when you know how to work the system, you can see it. And then you start to reverse the momentum of the stress that is building up to
Right.
the heart attack.
Right.
So that's really like what this is so incredible for, is preventative care, right? We're done with the like intervention. I'm
Yes.
going in when I'm like when I'm so chronically ill, when I can't stand it anymore.
Right.
And, we can catch things that are forming in the energetic field before it comes into the psyche and into the physical body, which is extraordinary. And also, like for me, and I really was able to get so much more intimate with my own body, with my own psyche. And when we really see what's going on, all of the knowledge that we have really turns into like wisdom.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, it's now being detected. I can tangibly, like, I can see it, and it's like tangible. So now we can move into, we go into the chromosomes even.
So break down exactly what you're doing. You're basically going through
Yeah.
each one, and you're collecting the ones that I require. Is that what you're doing?
Right. So right now I'm going through the Etalon, which is the entire analysis of the body. So there's
Okay.
different categories, and I'm reading the spectral like comparison and analysis of what was picked up.
Got
So here in the conflict matrix, there's sleep conflict and there's decision conflict. So, maybe you didn't sleep well last night, or it's been like harder to sleep lately.
It has.
And maybe there's, something that you're in transition. So maybe you're at a crossroads and you're in between decisions.
How the fuck does it know that?
Right?
It's crazy.
Because we are informational beings. Like,
It's so
we
incredible.
carry information. What is information? Information is light, ultimately.
Yeah.
Which is
It's so incredible.
And it affirms us too. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I really do need to like work on my sleep, or
Yeah. And
okay,
chill out a little
like,
bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, gives us permission almost, which is funny how we need that sometimes. All right. And, now we're in the lungs, but we can get into like the digestive imbalances, the digestive system, even like geopathic stress. Now I want to come into the respiratory system, even like the nervous system, professional matrix, relationship matrix. Here we go. All right. So just a little bit of sleep apnea,
Sleep apnea.
which, and again, like this like pulmonary imbalance, me looking at the numbers here, it's not manifested into the body.
Okay.
So that's how, through understanding how to read the numbers, through these baselines, you can see what is actually in the, like, what is manifested into the body and what is kind of like cooking up,
Right.
in the background.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's incredible.
So we want to basically work on your pulmonary vessels. And so, yep. And
So
then
what would I need to do to continue to work with you guys to go deeper and further into this?
Yeah. So basically, a whole session will give you the...
Where, in Miami?
Yes. So right now we're partnering with and collaborating with Lux spas,
Okay.
med centers, wellness facilities, wellness resorts, and hotels.
Got it.
So actually, close by in Boca, Zentox Aesthetics has a scanner and offers scanner sessions.
Very cool.
So, that's kind of that is our intention, is to make this system available as your, any other wellness service.
Right.
So you can, if you're not feeling well, or even if you just want to tune into your health stasis, you come in, you get a health scan, we get all of the insights, we get the analysis, we give you your report, we print you your remedies, in these little bottles. And also, you have the option to connect with Oya's network of healers, of therapists, of professionals who are dedicated to human rejuvenation and healing. So there's support there. And it's beautiful that we have this huge network of 350 specialists that we're in relationship with. So you'd come in, you'd see what's going on, and you can also, decide on what you want to do. If you want to receive support from Oya Health,
Right.
or if you want to keep coming in to track your health. So we'll give you the recommendations, the remedies, and then you get to start to make the changes, because ultimately it is us that we're responsible for our health and our wellness and our decisions.
100%.
And then you can come back in a month or 2 weeks to ultimately see where you're at, track your health, maintain your health.
This is so incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did, but my lungs feel better already.
You know what? What's amazing is we did some methatherapy on you, but just having conscious awareness of what's going on, because we also, consciousness speaks to consciousness.
100%.
We can start shifting literally with our own consciousness by speaking to ourselves, and by embodying health.
And the data, the information helps me come to a realization.
Right.
It helps me understand, all right, something's going on here. Let's quickly shift that.
Right. Exactly.
Amazing.
It is.
Just incredible.
Yeah, it is. So.
All right. So how does this thing work? How do you print something into that? How does that function?
So basically what I would do is we'll finish the research here. All right. So basically this is what we've done. So now I will print the research, and we can actually select what we want to print. Let's say we'll do these. We want to preview it actually. So we'll go ahead and preview. Oh. All right, let's do that again. All right. Okay, so
Look at
now this is giving us the visual representation with the color-coded indicators that we can send to you. So when we do the metatherapy or the bioresonance feedback, you can see the before and after. And also this enables us to, track your healing, track your coming back into balance journey ultimately. And we can see if what we're doing is working.
Right.
Right.
It's
Because
amazing.
oftentimes we're just
Lost.
taking supplements and we don't
Pills
even know what
and-
we're
yeah.
taking. We don't even know if it's working.
Right.
Which last amazing thing about this is within the reprinter, we can actually test supplements and medications, and it will show us how well it's going to work for our bodies.
Wow.
So vitamins.
Before you even
everything.
take it.
Before you take it, you can even just put the bottle on top of there. It's really incredible. And
Wow.
that to me is everything, because now
How
we
does
have
it
more.
know? Is it shooting
It's
frequency?
the
Is that what it
vortex
is?
magnetic field. It's right. It's bouncing
Right.
the frequency characteristics of the supplement back into the software, and then through already having measured your system,
It knows.
It knows if this is a match or not.
Wow.
Yep. And then another thing that we do is we print the epicris, which is going to have the list of vitamins, a list of vitamin deficiencies, minerals, the nutraceuticals, everything that the system picked up that will support you, and only you, like your personal curated remedy preparations.
I'm so intrigued. I want to go dive deep into this.
Oh, you could go deep.
I really
You
do.
could go deep. I love. It's a beautiful it's really a beautiful experience.
It really
do
is.
It with
It's
a
humbling.
practitioner. It is so humbling.
Yes.
And it's a way where we can really get really authentic with ourselves. And that can be really hard.
Yeah.
Because,
The real raw.
The real raw. And there's nothing to be ashamed about at all.
I agree.
You know?
It is what
And,
it is.
Right. We have to accept it. Doesn't make us a bad person because
No.
we got sick. No. There's like so much stigma around it. And this is a beautiful way to really like
Right. You should be
reveal
proud
our
because you're
truth.
actually trying to do something about it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah. You're prioritizing your ultimate, health and wellness so that you can truly like live in your authentic nature, doing what you love with ease.
That's amazing.
Painless, without needing to take pills, and really just remembering the divine truth of your body, that it is just an incredible vehicle, and this is the true technology,
For sure.
So
The
we're-
ultimate technology.
the ultimate
Yes.
technology, and
The
really,
ultimate software.
yeah. And now, we just need, because of the times we're in, we need help from external technologies that are benevolent, that are here to assist us in our success.
Tell me your dream. What's your goal with this? Where do you see this going? Where do you see you within this field? Break that down for me.
Yeah. So, really, it's to have this technology in very easy, accessible places, even gyms, where it becomes a part of our self-care wellness routine. Just like we go to the dentist, or we,
Right.
Go get a lymphatic massage, or we go get vitamin IVs. Well, we're checking our frequency and we're correcting our frequency. I also see this being integrated into wellness practices. People who are already practicing alternative medicine. I know a
Right.
lot of doctors actually work with this technology. A lot of doctors who are opening up their own practices
Just for this.
are,
Well, they're including this.
Including this.
Got it.
Right. So this is to create even more value, more precision,
More harmony.
more harmony. Absolutely.
Yes.
And, I really see myself as a steward of wellness technologies.
Yes, you are.
And
I see that too.
really just like activating people back into their power so that they can truly reclaim their immune system, so we're not so easily swayed by external agendas
Right.
and propagandas, so we can truly be in the seat of our our soul,
Right.
and like have our energy and our spirit in our body, because right now we're not in our bodies, we're in the past, we're in the future, and it's very depleting,
It is.
and it's hard to really like feel fulfilled and be connected to our calling and our purpose and like our energy, our gold, our coins, when we're everywhere but here in this present moment awareness.
In the
So,
past and the future, but never in the now.
right, which is the present.
Yes.
And,
It's all
yeah.
there is.
So yeah, just increasing self-awareness, because we're really here to remember how incredible we are and remind ourselves of their divine function.
That's key. Because we've all forgotten about that.
Yes.
You're going to do amazing things.
Thank you.
Your energy radiates. You
Thank
vibrate
you.
at a very high frequency.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I just appreciate you for, having this channel to broadcast, transformative information like this and wisdom.
I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. And I just appreciate your openness and your receptivity.
Thank you.
And it's just so refreshing. And I just congratulate you.
Thank you. Right back
Truly.
at you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Where can everyone find you? Website, IG, YouTube, whatever you got.
All right. So I want to direct everyone to oya.health, which is our website, and at oya.health for social media.
I'll make sure to add links to that in the bottom.
Okay, perfect. And currently in this area in Broward, we're in Broward, Zentox Aesthetics is providing this service, and we're collaborating with them. So if you do want to receive
That's
a
awesome.
in-person session in this area, that would be the place to go. And the practitioners there are just beautiful, beautiful women.
As good as
We
you?
can, yes. And you can also actually, we can run scans remote. We have a program where you can send your hair sample to us.
Wow.
And we just put the hair sample in the reprinter and
My.
we can scan you that way
My,
as
my,
well.
my.
Yeah, and if you're a wellness facility,
What if you have no hair?
do you have leg hair? Chest hair, we'll take chest hair
Sounds
too.
good. Just making sure.
Yeah, and if you're a wellness facility that feels resonant with what we've done today, yeah, we would love to collaborate and really start getting these wellness techs out there and available to your clients and to the public, because it's more than time. It's beyond time
It
that
really
we
is.
all have access to technologies like this that are benevolent and that are here to ultimately assist our evolution.
Amazing. You are just an amazing person. This has
you.
been
I'm really
phenomenal.
proud of you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming. Thanks so much for
Thank you.
demonstrating and showing us the power of modern technology mixed with ancient knowledge. It's just so beautiful.
Isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing episode, this amazing tutorial. Click on all her links. Make sure you're following her. Make sure you guys go seek the help that's required, that's out there for you guys to be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
This is the Leo Climaco Podcast.